Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for the gold, silver and palladium. I wish you a nice start for the week. Let's start with the gold. On the daily here for the channeling, as you can see, the price is still in the lower part of this acceleration channel. We saw the last week some green candles. We saw something like as a retracement toward the upside. We'll see, of course, on the micro level next what are the probability, but based on our position here, we are very close to finish this three waves structure as we have mentioned, and to confirm something to push toward the upside. Now this confirmation is not yet 100% given because there are still probability. We already talked about it in the deep analysis this weekend, and we mentioned what are the micro probabilities for further downside here, which it can still be an ending diagonal or it can be an expanding flat. And that means, of course, that in case if we push for higher here, and expanding a flat would be an ABC and very likely to test our next position here, which is the middle line of this acceleration channel. Now, in case that we are looking for a finished wave 4 on the daily here, it is very likely that we can be in a wave 5 after alternation of this wave 2 here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The time is hit, the fib level is also hit, the structure is almost finished, and we only need the signal to be completed here for something very, very bullish. We have mentioned for weeks that we gonna have a retracement or a push toward the upside again in any case scenario here. Once we get a new low, which we got it, once we finish a 5 ways down, which we are testing it because we still have a potential scenario ABC expanding flat one more low and then pushing high again. And also, even and we are in a longer correction, which is of course reflecting this wave too as alternation, and that means we might need a longer correction, but that doesn't mean we might not push toward the upside because we might be in an A, B, and a C first scenario, and a second scenario as a triangle A, B, C, D, and an E. At the end, we push higher for a new all-time high. By all means, this is a region where we will start to estimate, of course, a reverse toward the upside as a bullish. 3,500 still can be possible in case that we still get like a longer wave 5 in this case scenario. But if not, it might be taken still in an A, B, and a C here sooner or later. 3,500 might be taken in the next months, guys. Even in a potential longer sideways, okay, we might not take it as a sideways, but don't forget that you pay in time here rather than in price. It depends, of course, on the market, what it's going to decide here in those crossroads that we might get in the future, guys. Okay. So basically, this is what I'm looking for right now on the lower time frame for the gold. I'm looking here on the 2 hour chart where we have still a potential WX and a Y, finished a wave A, and we have a wave B, and a wave C is unfolding where we have a 1, 2, 3 here, 4, and a 5. Now, if your wave 3 is over there, finished, let's say, your wave 4 is open for an expanding flat, as we have mentioned. We're going to dive also inside it to see it clearer. So this wave 4 can be exactly on the 1 hour chart seen here, and I'm gonna zoom in there. So this expanding flat is represented in the following scenario as a 3 waves toward the upside at WX and a Y zigzag here, WX and a wave Y. And we're looking for another correction here because this as an impulse also doesn't serve perfectly. You have double 1, 2 here. You have invalidation somehow. So it's another zigzag, another X, and another zigzag again, finishing 3 waves toward the downside, meaning again 3 up, 3 down. And we're looking for 5 ways up here. In case we are very impulsive, we're looking for a wave C as an expanding flat and a wave 4. This wave C can be also again represented in this leading diagonal as a wave 1 if it wants to. It can be a wave 2, another 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So expect something to push very, very high here, especially after a signal of a corrective channel opening here as an expanding flat again wave 2 and then pushing toward the upside without taking the invalidation of the bullish. And that means even if you are in several 1-2s there and you are looking at this impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a major wave 3 here, 1, 2, 3. I'm looking for a wave 4 without invalidation, meaning without taking this zone 1. And that opens the way for a wave 3 and then 4 and a 5 to reach, of course, our target here in very high probability. So the highest probability is, of course, still for the bulls here despite this correction that we are looking at on the 15-minute chart here, where you have obviously three ways down and you have finished a WX and a Y again internally here in zigzags, and we have three waves down finished, and we're looking at another three ways up and a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 as a wave C expanding flat A, B, and a C. Meaning the target for a wave C has to be taken from the wave A to the B here, and having a wave C as an expanding flat, you are looking for the 1.618 here, which it can still be very good position above the invalidation. And of course, continuation toward the upside is still very possible here from this zone. 4,137 can be the target for a push toward the upside again. Yep, so that was it for the gold. If we move to the silver here on the daily as well, and we're gonna take a look at our price position as usual to see what we might expect the direction and the next level for the silver. So for the silver, we are in double 1-2s here. We are still ranging between the base channel and the acceleration channels as well. We hit the middle line of the upper part of this base channel, which is should consider a very good position to get some energy and push toward the upside again. However, we gotta be careful from the structure. It looks like kind of like impulsive, but because of course no invalidation, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 can be given there, meaning an ABC can be considered finished and we push toward the upside. So the next level that I'm looking for it right now as a retracement is very likely this yellow line here, which is the upper part of the base channel, and it can be, of course, something for bullish, meaning we might be looking at a finished wave 4 here, especially that we hit the zero point 0.5 Fibonacci level, a very deep price for a wave 4 to push for higher in a wave 5. So yes, it is checked. Also, the timing is perfect timing to push toward the upside structure. Yes, it is kind of like a finished 5 waves for a wave C. I can read them very clearly here in case we are pushing for higher. Now, of course, there is still a probability for another push toward the downside and confluence as well with the gold if it wants to. Don't forget a W and X and a wave Y, and that means, of course, a larger zigzag can still be unfolding here for a new low, meaning this impulse transformed to another zigzag and then pushing for higher. But still, even in that scenario, we're still looking for higher prices as a higher probability because most of the scenarios have confluence here to push toward the upside at the current price. Now, if we dive also inside it on the 2 hours chart here, we can see clearly that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. If this is your finished wave 5, well, yeah, it's a little bit hard to call it. Don't forget that you have a larger 1, 2 still. So that's why we still have another also probability on the micro level here that we might still be in unfinished impulse. Meaning if you want to take this as a 1, 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5, okay, even in that case scenario, you have a 4 and a 5 still there to be tested, guys. Now, on the 1 hour chart, we can see that the silver is a little bit more corrective than impulsive still. So the impulse towards the upside is not confirmed like the gold. And if you take a look here, you will see a lot of overlapping over there for the silver, right? So it's not like the gold, guys. So the difference between the gold is that you have kind of like an impulse so far here. Okay, you have an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 with a gap between the wave 4 and the wave 5, allowing us to count a wave 3, which is impulsive. While the gold, sorry, the silver, you don't have this. Okay, you don't have this anywhere. And that's why this is a difference that we don't see a momentum here stronger like the gold. So we gotta be careful in case that we are in several 1, 2s here. So you can call this also a diagonal 1, 2 and another diagonal 1, 2, meaning both are leading diagonals. And then you're looking therefore for the 0.38 Fibonacci level here, minimum target taken from the wave 1 to the wave 2 to hit the $60.87 and then push toward the upside again. Otherwise, we are in a zigzag. A, B, and a C finish done, and we push toward the downside. So we gotta be careful. Invalidation of bearish, by the way, both key levels are taken. I never say like you're gonna push directly toward the upside, but when this happens, that means that we might be very likely that we're gonna get a correction and break them decisively later on, especially once we have finished a structure there as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here, diagonal, leading diagonal, and we might push toward the upside again, guys. So testing area is my 0.38 Fibonacci level. $60 is very likely. Once we get it, we might push toward the upside again. We're gonna test it, guys. We're gonna need the signal of strength, 5 ways up again, 3 down, pushing higher, confirmed, and of course we take a bullish flag from there to push for higher and extremely higher, very likely in case as well that we come back to those key levels. That will be extremely bullish, guys. Now, where we can decide that things are going to be bearish again for the silver and that we are dropping for a new low, meaning continuation for a wave 5 after a wave 4 here. Well, I cannot really say here that we are still in an impulse double 1, 2, 3, 4. We got the invalidation as I mentioned. Despite that, the invalidation is only with a simple wick here, which is very annoying. Repeating it, the history there with this wick as well, those wicks here. So we gotta be careful with it, guys. It can be therefore even a finish 1, 2, 3, 4 interfering here, but still can be a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 expanding diagonal, and that we still, of course, looking for something bullish here, but we still need the 0.38. However, to decide to go bearish again is definitely breaking is this zone area here and looking at a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 in this way, I raise a red flag again. Okay, in this way, of course. And once we get here a 3 waves up and we get a signal of weakness again, meaning taking this low there, this is totally confirmed that, okay, we're pushing down again for a new low here in a bearish scenario for a wave 5. Okay, so don't forget, both scenarios are always playing there currently because we have kind of like a 5 waves here. Diagonals, of course, it opens the probability for double 1, 2 and massive wave 3. But don't forget that this also can transform into a zigzag ABC. And then, of course, sorry, A, B, and a C, and then pushing it downward again for final wave 5 before we push massively again toward the upside. Because once you finish this, of course, I'm gonna be totally bullish because the structure is 100% finished. Yep, so that was it for the silver. Let's move to palladium. For palladium, we're looking for our testing area. That's very nice, and it is hit as expected. So we have a 1, 2 here. Your wave 2 is an A, B, and a C. The wave C is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Ending diagonal, which is, of course, giving us a signal of strength here. And we have mentioned, of course, our testing area is the 0.38. And once we break it, we're gonna push towards, of course, higher prices. 1-to-1 Fibonacci level, also very nicely finished here. So I'm gonna clean up some things here. No needed for it anymore. Confirmation for higher. Don't forget the 5 waves up, 3 waves down as an ABC expanding flat. Breaking the high is the confirmation for something higher. Next level was the 1-to-1 fib level, another bull flag, and currently we're getting another bull flag again. This is very likely to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Of course, we're pushing in something very impulsive towards the upside for palladium. So palladium is kind of like confirmed, guys, that we are looking here for something bullish, which is, of course, a reversal for the market. What I'm looking for next is the 1.618 as a wave 3 to be done exactly in this confluence area with the red zone and also the target for a potential wave 3. 1.618, 1,300 and very psychological number. So this is what I'm looking for exactly for NF5. Now, if it is an extended wave C, which I start to doubt it, but of course it can still be. In this case, it can be your wave 2, still in the red zone, and that means a large 1-2 here might still be there. But if the price is going to show here some corrective, creepy moves, okay, guys, it's bullish. This is your 100% confirmation 886 here. That means we're going to take the high. That means, of course, the trend is upward and we're looking for something very, very bullish. And that means something very bullish is going to unfold to take the all-time high here, guys. This is just a minor thing in a very large sea, guys, of a green sea, I would say, because it's very, very bullish. That means we're looking above 2,200 and very likely to open towards the 4K to finish, of course, our large A, B, and a C here to reach the 4K, guys. That was it for the metals, gold, silver, and palladium. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Before you leave, make sure to join our private Discord community. There you will get daily updates faster than YouTube, plus exclusive bonus trading signals for the gold, silver, Bitcoin, and stocks. You can also request one special technical analysis every day and get access even to our only members video on YouTube and also on Discord. And stay ahead, of course, with economic and political news that actually moves the market. And of course, we do regular Q&A sessions so you can get your questions answered directly in the Discord. And of course, if you're serious about leveling your trading, the Discord link is below in the description and in the comments.